discuss about the alternating current. Before studying the alternating current, I would like to ask you one simple question: that what is direct current? Now, when we talk about the direct current, then direct current is such a current which may or may not change in magnitude, but it never changes the direction. Never changes direction. So direct current is such a current which has the directional properties. Okay, so if we plot a directional current, so directional current may be like this. This is current, this is time. Directional current may be like this. But you can see that though it is changing the magnitude, but it is never changing the direction of flow. So that's why direct current, it never changes the direction. It may or may not change the magnitude. It means this is the varying direct current. There may be a direct current which is of constant amplitude, constant magnitude. So that's why this is what the constant DC is. This is what the constant direct current is. And here these currents, they are direct currents, but they are of varying magnitude. So direct current is such a current which may or may not change the magnitude, but it will never change the direction. Now let us talk about the alternating current. See, alternating current is such a current which changes in magnitude as well as in direction with time. Alternating current is such a current which changes in magnitude as well as in direction with time. Okay, so alternating current is represented like this. You can see that its magnitude is varying, but not only its magnitude is varying, but the direction, which was earlier positive, then it becomes negative. So that's why the direction also varies. So such a current is said to be the alternating current. So alternating current is such a current which varies in magnitude as well as in direction. Alternating current is actually repetitive, periodic in nature. So that's why it can be represented by periodic functions either by sine or cosine. So we can write the alternating current like this: I is equal to I naught sine omega t. So here the alternating current is represented by a sine function. So if we plot this type of current, then this type of current is represented like this. You can see here. So this is what the alternating current, which is represented by the sine waveform. Okay, here on x-axis we are having omega t, and on y-axis we are having current I. This I naught is actually the peak value. So this peak value is somewhere here. This is I naught. Okay, so I naught is called the peak value of alternating current. This is the peak value or maximum value of alternating current. Now here the alternating current is represented by sine function. We can represent alternating current by cosine function also. So if we represent it like this, so this type of representation is in the form of cosine. Here it is I. This is the maximum value, so it has to be I naught, and on x-axis it is omega t. So this is how we can represent the alternating current, and you can see that alternating current, it varies in magnitude as well as in direction with time. Okay, so this is what about the alternating current is. Now let us discuss some very important properties of alternating current. Okay, so see, alternating current and alternating EMF, these are two different things. As we studied that what is EMF? EMF is the electromotive force. Okay, so it actually leads the current to flow in a circuit. So as we discussed, there is direct EMF which we get by the cells and the batteries. Similarly, there will be alternating EMF also, which changes in magnitude as well as in direction. And because of that, as we represent the alternating current like I equals to I naught sine omega t, or by I equals to I naught cos omega t, similarly alternating EMF can be represented as either E is equal to E naught sine omega t, or E equals to E naught cos omega t. So we can represent the alternating current, alternating EMF like this as we represented the alternating current. Okay, now let us discuss one very important characteristic of alternating current, and that is called mean value or average value of alternating current. So let us discuss this mean or average value of alternating current. Average value of alternating current. Average value of AC. Now, what is mean value or average value of alternating current? Try to understand this. Suppose that there is an alternating current which is flowing in a circuit, and it is flowing in a circuit for a certain amount of time. Okay, suppose that there is an alternating current I, and it is varying like either sine or cosine function, and it is passing through a circuit for a certain time, say t. Now during this time, definitely what has happened, that some charge q has flown through the circuit. Okay, so this is what the current is, rate of flow of charges. So suppose that when an alternating current flows through a circuit for a certain time period, then a specific amount of charges they flow through the circuit. Okay, now the point is because the alternating current is a changing current, it varies with time. Now suppose that if we have DC and such a DC which is constant, suppose that a constant DC, it is flowing through the circuit for the same time interval as alternating current was flowing through it. For the same time interval, if a constant DC is flowing through the circuit, and when it flows, we get that same amount of charges are now flowing through that circuit when the constant DC is flowing. Are you getting it or not? When the constant DC is flowing for the same time, if same amount of charges are flowing through the circuit as that amount of charge was flowing when an alternating current was flowing through the circuit for the same time, then this constant DC is said to be the mean or average value of the alternating current. Okay, so for this you have to understand that you can say that the average value or mean value of the alternating current is that constant value of DC which when flows through the circuit for the same time interval as the alternating current was flowing, then if same amount of charges are flowing through the circuit, then this constant DC is said to be the mean value or average value of alternating current flowing through the circuit. Okay, so this is how we can define the mean or average value of alternating current. Now you try to understand that how can we derive the expression from it. So before this, I want to explain you few things related to this. See, this is the complete time period, say from 0 it starts and ends on t. Okay, this is the one cycle of the alternating current, and you know that this is the value I naught, which is the peak value. Okay, now if you take the average of alternating current over the complete time period 0 to capital T, then you know that positive and negative both are equal, and then the average value would be 0. So you can't take the average value over the complete time period, you take it over the half time period, T by 2. So when we take average of the alternating current, we take it over the half time period and we do not take it over the complete time period. This is very important. Okay. Now if we want to derive the expression for the average value of alternating current, for this what we are doing, first let us assume that the alternating current is represented by I is equals to I naught sine omega t. This is how the alternating current is defined. Okay, you could have divided in cos also, we have done it for sine. Okay, so suppose that this current I is flowing through a circuit for a small time interval dt. If it is flowing through a circuit for a small time interval dt, then what will happen that we know this, that if this current flows through a circuit for small time interval dt, then definitely some charges would flow through the circuit, let it be dq. dq are the charges which are flowing through a circuit in this time dt. Okay, so we can write I is equal to dq by dt. If we can write this, we can write this also, that dq is equals to I dt, right? And then this implies dq is equal to I naught sine omega t dt. Okay, this is a small charge which is flowing, and let it be equation number 2. Now you can see that this is the small charge which flows through the circuit in time dt. Okay, now if we want to find a total charge which is flowing through the circuit in say 0 to capital T by 2, because as we discussed earlier that we have to find the average value in this time interval T by 2. Okay, so if you have to find a total charge flowing, so we can write Q is equal to integration dq. Now when we write this, we can write Q is equal to integration 0 to capital T by 2, and dq value is I naught sine omega t dt. And we can write it as Q is equals to I naught is constant which we have taken outside, and integration of sine omega t would be minus, and then it will be cos omega t, and limit would be 0 to capital T by 2. Now Q is equal to minus I naught, and when we substitute it, it will be cos omega into capital T by 2 minus cos 0. Okay, because first we substitute the upper limit, then we substitute the lower limit. Now we know that omega is 2 pi by capital T, so we can write it like this: cos 2 pi by capital T into capital T by 2, correct, minus cos 0, and we know that that is 1. Now this t and t is cancelled and 2 is cancelled, so you can write Q is equal to minus I naught cos pi. Value of cos pi is minus 1, and this minus 1 will give you minus 1 minus 1 minus 2, and then this is multiplied here in I naught, so that will be Q is equal to plus 2 I naught, and one thing is missing, and that I am telling you is that when we integrate it, then because it was not t, it was omega t, so by the coefficient of t, that is omega, we have to divide. This omega will come here, this omega will be here, this omega will be here also, and at last also it will be there. This is equation number 3. Q is equals to 2 I naught omega, I naught upon omega. Okay, so once again I am telling you, because here when we integrated, we didn't divide it by the coefficient of omega t that we should have done, that is omega. We should have divided by coefficient of t, that is omega, so that's why it will come like this. After this, you see, this is what the charge which is flowing through the circuit when the alternating current is flowing through the circuit for time interval capital T by 2. If we want that, suppose that for the same time interval, if the direct current is flowing, So we can write if the direct current is flowing through the circuit for the same time interval capital T by 2. So same amount of charge will flow by the definition. So you can write Q is equals to, let that constant is Im, constant DC is Im, multiplied by capital T by 2. Multiplied by capital T by 2. Now this is equation number 4. You can see that both have the equal charges, where Im is actually the constant DC. The constant DC as per the definition, according to the definition of the average or mean value of the alternating current. So we can write the constant DC here. Okay, so now by equation 3 and 4 you can write Im into capital T by 2 is equal to 2I naught by omega, or you can write Im is equal to 2I naught by omega multiplied by 2 upon capital T, and you know this that it will be 2I naught by omega is 2 pi by capital T into 2 upon capital T. So this T and T is cancelled, 2 and 2 is cancelled, so it is Im is equal to 2 upon pi multiplied by I naught. Okay, and the value of 2 upon pi multiplied by I naught, we can find it, and this value will be 0.637. So you can write it like this: 0.637 times I naught. So average value Im is equal to 0.637 times I naught, which is the peak value. So this is how you can find the average value of alternating current over a half time period.